Like a good scramble. Amazing start. Wow, the F12 is crazy!
This is Yiheng Wang, a name recognized by virtually every speedcuber throughout the entire world. His times for solving a variety of puzzles are lightning fast. In fact, he currently holds the world record for the average time to solve the 3x3 at just 4.48 seconds, which surpassed his previous record average of 4.69 seconds. With milliseconds defining his stardom, many in the community are excited to see how much further Yiheng can push cubing records. Yet, beyond the legendary solves that define Yiheng's great success, there's just something about his game face that hints at an element around him that's quite off-putting. There's a shadow of external forces, perhaps expectations from a demanding environment, or the weight of constantly outperforming himself. There seems to exist a hidden face of extreme pressure, one that is apparently demanding him to reach for goals far beyond his capabilities. Sure, the spirit of competition drives the level of intensity for everyone, but at the end of the day, it is just a friendly competition where mistakes can be made in order to return better and faster. Many often laugh at their own blunders and misfortunes while solving, but Yiheng? His austere reactions make it look as if he's being interrogated rather than participating in a speedcubing competition. This serious demeanor is constant throughout every single competition he's ever participated in. And just if you didn't know, Yiheng is only 10 years old. It's clear that Yiheng has certainly put in a lot of effort in order to get to the elite level of cubing. His average solves have times that any speedcuber would want to proudly own and boast on, yet his reactions to these otherwise excellent times are quite muted. This of course could be explained that at the elite level, the times that appear to be amazing for us is probably nothing more than a normal solve to him. I get the impression that he's placing a lot of pressure on himself, and that's completely normal in any sport that the competitor is always seeking to better themselves for better performances or times. However, I have a hot take here, because as the saying goes, your children are a reflection of you. They will learn by your example, not your advice. And you might be wondering why I'm focusing so much on this aspect, but here's why. Chinese culture places a huge emphasis on excelling in academics, which is typically spurred on by the parents, who often demand nothing less than perfection. This mentality also carries into any other activity, including extracurriculars and sports. This, of course, is a double-edged element, as the child will be highly disciplined and excellent at study. Yet, the other side effect of this regimented lifestyle will yield a child who may turn rebellious against the parents in due time.
照着写到写错吗？怎么回事啊？知道了。讨厌他，他被罚了。
Take, for example, these kids, who by any means are brilliant and talented in their own right, yet are crushed by the sheer weight of their parents' demand to excel in school so that they can go to college and get a job that they might not even be satisfied with. It appears that in many of these cases, the parents are attempting to live through their children, which then ultimately causes the children to resent the parents. The act of tiger parenting, as this is often known in Chinese culture, is one that diminishes the child's ambitions and creative talents. So the ironic part of all of this is that by planning out the path of the child's future, the child ultimately doesn't follow that path because they grow disgruntled with how their childhood was stolen from them and replaced with menial and mind-numbing studies that set them on a path for a job that they don't even want. And now that you've seen the effects of tiger parenting, let's return back to Yiheng in these competitions. You can see that every time he solves, his serious face is often complemented with him looking off to the side as if he's looking for a sign of approval from his handler, perhaps his parents, the cubing coach, or even the cubing judge, maybe. The level of subliminal messaging is quite impressive as well, as you can see in this clip with an image of someone, presumably his mother or grandmother, watching over his back as he competes in his matchup against Leo Borromeo in the 2022 Monkey League competition. In a later release of the Monkey League competition with Yiheng, you can see, once again, that he places an extraordinary amount of pressure on himself to perform better with each solve. Again, the competition is going to be intense, but you can see where Yiheng begins to put too much pressure on himself and the nerves get to his head. This, of course, isn't the first time where it's happened, as in previous competitions, you can see that he's performing quite well up until the point that he makes a mistake, and after that, you can see the nerves slowly diminish his otherwise excellent performance. One key aspect where the heavy pressure may be coming from is the fact that Yiheng currently holds a sponsorship with GanCube, a premium cube manufacturer. With the position on the GAN Gurus consisting of only the best cubers throughout the entire world, there's no doubt that with this prestigious position comes great expectations from Yiheng. But as a 10-year-old, is it really reasonable that his parents should expect him to continue shattering records when he's already pushed cubing records to its limits? The financial incentives that exist for the Wang family is more than likely a large part of why Yiheng is pressured to do so well. After all, if you got the opportunity to travel throughout the world and have stardom, starting all at the age of 9 in exchange for bringing prestige to an already prestigious brand by solving at lightning speeds, wouldn't you also take the opportunity? Ultimately, however, Yiheng holds all of the power. After all, he's the only one in his family who's capable of solving the Rubik's Cube at these record-breaking times. Therefore, one can only hope that Yiheng has a strong support group behind him, and in my opinion, I think he does, considering he's only a little kid at this point, and he can't dedicate all of his hours to cubing alone. One can only hope that his parents will recognize and allocate the proper resources that will allow him to continue to develop his excellent cubing skills further, in addition to enjoying his young age without crushing him for fame and fortune. Regardless, only Yiheng knows what Yiheng knows. However, one thing is for sure, his talent and skill in cubing has changed his entire life forever, but whether or not it is a change that is better or worse for his future, that is yet to be seen.